Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for watching again one of my videos. Today we're going to go into a new toy line that I discovered recently, and after watching a few reviews, and I'm not into this scale, this is a 1/25th scale, I'm suddenly finding myself deep into a rabbit hole that I'm trying to stop myself from going into, but it's kind of too late. Why? Because it's I'm finding it such a great value, such a good looking thing. But anyway, this is JOYTOY's 1/25th scale mecha. It doesn't follow any kind of storylines that I know of, or any kind of cartoon or anything that I'm familiar with. That's the reason why I didn't go into it in the first place. But anyway, so when I first got this particular piece, right? These pieces are usually going for around $75 to $85 range. I was able to purchase this for $60, and another one I'll show you for $55 because they were on sale. And I was looking around. I usually get them from Amazon. And that's where I'm finding the $75 to $85 range. This one I got from AliExpress. I took a chance from an unknown seller, but I had a good following, so luckily it came in. Unluckily, when I opened the box, and I'm not sure, I didn't show you the unboxing because that's kind of tedious. It came like this. Now, this is my second figure. I actually have my first figure here, which I'll show you later on. This is my second figure, and I knew about the reviews, not on this particular piece, but on JOYTOY's. But it came like this, right? So it came with the waist detached, the foot detached, pieces over here detached. This was in a bag. This was in a bag, bag. So suffice it to say, a novice might be freaking out at this point because it looks like a broken piece of toy, specifically since it was an unknown seller that I got it from AliExpress. So don't panic. Don't panic, right? JOYTOY has this particular line from JOYTOY has this peculiar characteristics of having this ability to randomly customize your robot depending on how you want to show it. And also for display purposes, if you're displaying them in a hanger bay and or a repair bay, it shows off great. So how does this work? As you can see, this is on a peg, a ball joint, and this is simple peg. It's not that deep. So it does tend to maybe pop off if you're playing with it roughly. But let me show you, it connects just fine. The only thing I'm finding is there's no click. It's just really tight sometimes. But there is a very, very soft ratchet in there for the hip joint, but see, and the arms will have ratchet. So it's not really broken. And the first piece I got, actually only a few of these plates were off, but it was mostly assembled. So, and there's no, the instructions, it will show you parts and all that stuff, but it was kind of interesting to see it apart like this, because now I see, now it gave me the experience to put this thing together and see how it's together, and now I'm not as afraid if it's gonna break or not, because I know you can always put it back. So in a way, that was kind of a good thing. So I'm gonna change this view really quickly, and I'm gonna show it. I'm gonna show it to you as I'm assembling it, and then we can finally go into the proper review. Okay, give me 1 second while I change the view. Okay, so and I basically, when I still had the box, I basically had to kind of reference it. So and then I think this is the front. See, as you can see, the pegs aren't really that deep, so that might be a little bit of a concern. But what might happen, what you might experience happening as you're putting this on is it might pop off. Also notice this is up and goes up and down, so you can, if you want to, you can kind of raise this a little bit, but that might be a feature, like this goes up and down. That might so in other armor pieces this might be able to go up and down. This won't right now, because right now it just plugs in straight. But like I said, it might feature in other armor pieces. Now I say that because I'm watching this through my viewfinder, my screen, just to make sure I'm actually catching it on screen, because I'm finding that I'm not getting that done in some of my shots. So I have to make sure I'm doing that properly. So this one's loose. See how easy that comes off? You might want to, I think some people would use some sort of either super glue to, not like glue it, but just to create enough friction. Some sort of glue just to make that friction. And then these shoulder pieces, this was a little bit hard. These are shoulder pieces. These are actually kind of hard to put on, so might have a problem putting this on camera right now. Has to do with the angle of the peg. So you'd think it just comes on straight, but there's some angle to it that makes it weird. So now that's on, so I just have to watch that angle for the next one. Yeah, I would say the only drawback is because these pegs that they're connected to is so shallow. There, see, there's an angle to it that it might pop off easily. I've thought about modifying it with magnets, and I think if we were to do it with magnets, this would be a little bit more cooler. Like neodymium magnets, that would be good enough. It's got this movable eyes over here, and see, I think that's mostly it. Oh, this one goes into the back, and I found now this one, as you can see, has longer peg points, and it seems like it's just a little bit too tight. I was having a hard time putting it on. Yeah, that was a little bit harder. I had to kind of like wiggle a little bit because there's like 4 points of contact, and it was a deep peg. And then, so I haven't. Let me just put this up like so. There's a lot more widgets and gadgets and all that stuff that you attach in. It's just crazy the amount of stuff you have to put in this one. But yeah, so I mean, you can definitely customize it to the point of being crazy. But I think obviously because these don't even have any pegs, so they will have a danger of falling out, I suppose. This one's kind of nicely tight over there, so that's good. You can hear it squeaking in there. But there's only, I think there's like maybe for the 1/25th scale, there's I think about, I'm gonna say 10 to 15 varieties at this point on these mechas. I found this is the Iron Wrecker mech um, is the name of it. And I found that JOYTOY has three basic bodies, kind of like how Hasbro does their basic buck bodies. JOYTOY has, it looks like three. One is the wrecker body, which is this one, and then the other one was, I think, the purge body. I'm still studying it because there's, and then there's the steel bone body. So what I mean is, they'll have the same skeletal frame point, the Wrecker family, but then it'll be then like for example this is the Iron Wrecker, and then Dark Source, and then there's another one called Iron Wrecker Mech, Urban Mecha, which is painted differently. It will have completely different mech armor pieces. Do a search on it on Amazon if you're interested. It's really, I can't really describe it if you're not familiar with this line, but yeah, it's just, there's so many varieties, and it's basically using the same bodies, but they look so different that it's just crazy. And then there's another one I'm supposed to put in here, but I don't know. It's basically I have to construct all these pieces, and I'll have to do that off site because it's a lot of stuff. So, and we have to keep going with the review because it's kind of long already, and it's gonna be a long one because there's basically it's gonna be two mechs that I'm gonna be reviewing, but because they kind of articulate the same, I'll be saving a bunch of stuff. But so there's the introduction of what you might experience once you got this in hand. Don't panic if it's coming in pieces. Once you've tried putting it together, then you'll see if it's really broken or not. So it comes with this gun. Oh, how do I proceed? How do I proceed with this? So first off, this is a mech. This is the mech, right? The other reason I bought it was because it comes with, you can't see it, it's still wrapping paper. Parts. Let me show you. I know it's not gonna focus because I'm so close to the camera, but this is the only way I can show this properly. You saw the one small piece of hand that fell off. That's another hand. That's a gripping hand. Some sort of rifle, a gun. This is a helmet. All right, very basic. I gotta put this somewhere here where it's safe. But I gotta be careful. This is the rifle that comes with it. Look, this thing is so freaking small. Look at my fingernail. Look at how small it is. But it's still got a lot of detail. I mean, it's even got a bunch of paint apps on it, right? And it's so small. I still have one more hand in here. Where did this hand come from? So it comes with three other hands. I know it's out of frame, but what can you do? Okay, I'm gonna put the rifle out of the way. Did it only come with three hands, or is there no, it comes with, my goodness, look at that. So it came with two extra pairs of hands, two closed ones, two gripping ones, and then the one on the figure. Okay. Look, there's not a lot of detail on the face. As you can see, you can't even see the eyes. But this is a small figure. But look at how much detail is in here. Paint app, USNC. I know. I'm sorry. It's going to be blurry sometimes because... Okay, so This is a small figure, and then if you want, you can pop off the head, and then oh, so small. Pop off the head and put on the helmet. Now he's helmeted. Okay, put that in there. This small piece of clothing, like a handkerchief around his neck, is removable. So be careful when, oh, where's the peg? The peg stuck with the helmet. Uh-oh. God, this peg is so small. How do I, okay. I gotta make sure it's the right end. That's why I pulled it like that. This is the only thing about this figure, right? Things are so small that you're gonna lose it, you're gonna be screwed. But, and I'm not into 1/25th. My collection is 1/6, 1/12. I don't even like the 1/18th G.I. Joe. The only G.I. Joe 1/18 I'll show you is the 25th anniversary. But they discontinued that line. So the other thing I like is the amount of articulation, right? So because it's in a ball joint, you can do this much in the head. Goes that much. But, you know, what else do you need from this small figure? Goes all around. There's no bicep swivel, but it does have an elbow swivel. The elbow goes about that much. It's on a single joint. This is a single joint, right? And then the hand basically just goes around. It's got a small, I think it might, it's in a joint, but you know, and yeah, look at how small that connection is. I haven't played with this much. I received this maybe 2 weeks ago, but I've been so busy with my fixing up my room collection that's I want to do a review on this because I'm so impressed by this. Look at the detail on the waist belt. Anyway, articulation at the waist is this is on a ball joint again, so small that, you know, and then the legs can go that high. Back a little bit is restricted by the design of the butt. Does seem to have a waist swivel. There is a waist cut in there. I don't want to force it that much more because that's all it does. And the double jointed knees. And up and down. There's really no swivel at the ankle swivel or ankle rocker. But and it's got a small holster for the gun. It can't be for that gun. Gun's too fat, so there must be a second gun. Maybe I lost somewhere to put in this one, because this gun is too big. Oh no, it still fits because there's that's crazy. Look at that. On this figure alone, this 2.5 this fake small figure, maybe like 2.5 inches alone, I'm so happy with. I wish I could buy a lot of these, but it's crazy the prices I'm seeing online for this. I don't know if that's a correct price, but I wish I could get more of this. In terms of scale and size, let me do a quick comparison. That's 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inches. I know it sounds 4, but don't look, you know, don't look at the numbers. It's 1, 2, and 3 inches. Here's my 25th 1/18 scale, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 inches. And here's the 1/12 G.I. Joe Hasbro, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and maybe 1/2 inches. Look at that. for so small, the amount of articulation and the paint detail and the paint sculpt, it's just mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. Oh my goodness. How long is this review now and we're just on the figure? Don't worry, because the other one should take longer. Let's now go on to the review of the actual robots. Okay, so this is basically the JOYTOY Steelbone 09 Silver Guardian, which I actually got for $59, not $55. And this one, actually I got this for the same price, $59. This is Amazon, this is AliExpress. So you can see there's a vast difference in terms of color on these two figures, and that what attracted me to this one was such a departure on just the color of the mechbot, right? So this is the weapon for this guy, obviously, because as you can see with the color scheme, look at how much detail there is on this, the buttons and the wirings and the color. The paint apps are what's really killing this line for me, because it's got washes, it's got so many different kinds of paint layers and all that stuff. The design of this is basically his barrel cannon or something. So, like I said, the paint apps is what basically drew me to this figure, because you don't need to do a whole lot more, because you got some sort of patina, some sort of iron, some wash, and then you see, look at the texture in this one. There's so many different surfaces on this that you can just get lost on the detail. Some rusted in the vents over here. Lost on the detail on each individual surfaces, you know. Amazing, amazing, amazing. He's got some paint decals. Thrusters in the back. Now, you saw the pilot. There's a pilot, and the other cool thing about this is it opens. So now there's like, wait, what's this? I didn't even know about this one. Like I said, I haven't even opened this. Oh, I think this is his chair. Let's see, how does that work? I kind of read somewhere that some of the mechs are interchangeably capable of seating the 125th pilot that came in with this one, but also with the 118th, because they also do 118 scale. But I feel like it's a cop-out, because you can fit in some of them, you can fit 118th, their 118 figure, but it's so tight in there that it feels like it's squashed in. Let me see. This feels like it should be in the back. Now, some of them, the back opens and you introduce the pilot from the back, which is basically what's going on with this one. So this one fell off to this part. I got that, and there was like a peg over here that it would go in. So if you look, look at that. There's the display panel for that stuff. So let me grab the pilot really quick. Let's sit him in here. Basically scoot him in here. Close this part off. Ah, I'm squeezing his hands. This thing could talk, he would have been screaming at me. You're scratching my hands. That now is possibly even. So what they would do, you can technically, I guess, you know what? Let's try it. That's a good thing that came off. Let's try it with Storm Shadow. Technically, this is This guy should be the same size as their 1/18th. So they were touting this as, you know, a play feature where you can use it as a 1/18th and a 1/25th scale vehicle. And so, like I said, see, it does kind of fit in there, and you can still close the canopy. I had to take out the seat and everything. So yeah, yeah, look at that. So it does fit the 1/18th scale for your figures. I just and because of this, I was hoping to buy some of their 1/18th mech and use it for the 1/25th, because if I'm gonna go into this line, I'd rather prefer the 1/25th because it makes them look so much more bigger. But look, the cockpit opens. You got the missiles and everything. Articulation, just leave that off. Look, it does have soft ratchets in there. It's so weird. Bicep swivel. As we go in this one, you'll see, and we went through this one already. It's got up and down. It does have a waist, an ankle pivot. Oh, we went through articulation. That one? Oh, I can't remember. Double jointed knees. You can do it like this if you want to, or you can do it straight for the knees. You know, and look, yeah, I didn't even realize it's got what would you call it? Butterfly joints. Things. Okay, the angle goes like that. So yeah, that's it for that guy. Oh, and the eyes, it's gonna kind of like this weird bug eye thing. So if you're getting kind of like frustrated with the things falling off, I mean, you can always glue it if you don't feel like you're gonna be changing the looks of your mech. You can glue it for a more permanent effect if you want. I'm not going to, because I feel like the more the playability is increased, the more I keep it off, or I have it being able to keep off or not, you know. So this is now the steel bone. This is actually my first one that I purchased. He was the one I want to buy, but this is the second one because it was on sale. But the colors were kind of bland for me. It looks good. The color is beautiful. I'm not saying it's, you know, but it's just the fact that it's silver and metal and gray. There's a lot more stuff that are more interesting to look at, but still. So, is this the one with the ratchet joints? Yeah, this one has ratchet joints. So it's a lot more stiffer than that one. I actually, even though that one doesn't have ratchet joints, I actually prefer that one. This one does have it. It's not needed because it's light anyway. It's not like it's made out of metal. I do know that one of the mechs do contain die cast now, so it might need that. But for this one, you don't need it. You don't need ratchets. You didn't need to do that. Bends there. Be careful with this one. It does a lot of stuff coming out. But once you're familiar with how it bends, or where the joints are, then you're fine. This is not. This thing is. The plastic quality is good on this one. See, this one's kind of loose, and it comes off easily. That's fine. And then look at the fingers are articulated, as you can see. 1, 2, 3 points of articulation on each finger, and it goes sideways as well. Yeah, man, this is the playability in this one. This one, if it has as much color as that one, just look at the shoulder boosters over here compared to this one. I feel like this could do with a little bit more color. That would be so much more better. See how this one stands out a lot more, because there's red, there's orange, there's copper looking things and all that stuff. There's black and red and all that stuff. It's a nice highlight, but I would like to see that more. So everything in here that's moving, it's probably removable. So if you want to customize it, make it look your own, you can definitely change it up. And the other thing too, you have to remember that comes off. See, because this one has the same pick as that one, you can technically, let's do that now. Let's see. So even though the design for this leg and that one is different, all the iron wreckers will have that same kind of basic style of leg. But can we switch it up? Or, okay, the design might be a problem because, but let's take this off. Oh, this one doesn't come off. That's kind of weird. So I wonder if I can put stuff on this side later on because there are peg poles in there. So you can't put this on because the design, there's something hitting there. That's kind of a shame. So maybe a different steel, steel bone will have, because it will have the same size, same type of design over here, we'll be able to switch out armor gears. But look, the way they do it is basically the same exact thigh armor. See that? And they just basically repeated it and then put it on different parts. I think Norm from Tested was showing that off, and he was like, and like this one, it's the same, basically the same one. I just flipped it and then combined it. This is basically two pieces, and then they put it together. So you'll see parts here on that's placed on different sections to make it look different, to make it look more unique. So if you decide to buy it or this stuff, you can go over your own thing and figure out what can you do, where can you look at that. I just flipped that like that. Or you can put it back in where you found it, or you can put this maybe over here too, and that works as his booster. I like that more over there in the side, so, or in the back rather than the side. So let's put that on the back. Look at that. Completely gives you the freedom to mess around with as you want. This one basically has the same as the other one. So this one goes back and this one goes out to the front. So this is not fed from the back. Yeah. So I don't think this one. I don't think with this one you can put in the 1/18th. I don't think so. That one has more room, but I suppose we can try. But don't buy this thinking you can. You can't do that and expect it. It's just on some of them. I think they got the idea because some customizers putting it up or something. But I think theirs has a more closer thing, so you might be able to do that. I think you might need to. So this feature of being able to switch it, it's not guaranteed. On some of the description, it might say it's not gonna fit. You can kind of mess around with it. I'm not interested in that feature at all. I just want this for 1/25th. And then the 1/18th one, I'm interested in putting the 1/25th figures, because obviously they're gonna fit in the 1/18th for robots meant for 1/18th figures, right? Obviously, because there's much more room. It's just a matter of the seating is gonna, there's no seating for the 1/25th figures. But then it comes with his Gatling gun. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, guys. The review is very long as it is, so I'm not getting into a lot of much depth in terms of reviewing this. I already have two more on the way. One is a new one that just came. It's just being released right now, and I got it from ShowZ store. It was for $79, I'm gonna say, as a pre-order from Shozi store. So my price was a little bit lower. I got it for $68, and because it's coming from Shozi, coming from China, I believe I'm not getting taxed for it. It's free shipping, and it's called the 125th TA Kui dual pilot mecha. So it's gonna come with two pilots. Basically, there's a cockpit over here, and then there's one turret that you can put it on. That one I'll go more for an in-depth review. It's actually got lights and everything too, so I might get the other one too, because I got that one for $68. It's the current price for it now is $76. I might get the white one as well. I'm looking at the reviews on that one, because this one, the black one that's coming in, has light up features. That one might not. I'm not sure. I'll go more in depth on that one. And then I have another one I just pre-ordered from Amazon. It's a 109, bigger than this one. Oh, I forgot to show you how tall this is. Let me just change the view. Okay, so as you can see, this one's a little bit taller in terms of the design. This one is tall because of the Gatling gun, but technically this guy is taller. Well, maybe the same size, same height because of the shoulder pads. They're coming in at around slightly, maybe like a 3/4 shy or a quarter shy of 9 inches. The one that I'm getting soon, the dual pilot one, I believe, no, not the dual pilot one. The one I'm getting, the Purchase 01 model, is, I got it for $98. It's gonna be bigger, like that's much more bigger. So that's why it's a little bit higher scale, but and you can separate it. Obviously this separates anyway, but the top half becomes a plane, and it's got with the display stands. So I'll go more in depth in terms of the review on that one. So final thoughts. This was $59. Comparison wise, in terms of value, this was what, $55? The articulation alone, much better on this one. Paint wise, so much more better than this one. The customization level is amazing on these guys. The fact that it comes with a lot of stuff that you can put in, comes with a pilot. It's got a story of its own that you can basically just start jumping out and start playing with. Put dioramas in, because it's 1/25th smaller scale, for the same amount of space that you have for 1/18th, or more specifically for 1/12th. You can have so much more stuff that to display in terms of dioramas and all that stuff. And I do believe they also sell bases and all that stuff, but it's for 1/18 scale. But for the same amount of space that you have, is so much stuff going on. The value on this one is high on my list. That's why when I first talked about this video, I'm going into this deep rabbit hole that I'm stopping myself going into, but it's kind of too late, because I've already spent $60, $68 on the dual mecha, and then $100 on the Purge 01. The blue version, I might get the red version as well, so that's another $100. But there's so many variations on this in Amazon, though technically there are only 3 basic types of model bodies. The Wrecker, like I said, the Steel Bone, the Purge 01 is a bigger one, so that's only 3 from the 1/25th scale. Because I think the dual pilot might be using, no, it's not, it's different, it's using a different kind of skeleton. So it's just basically using two different, you'll see a lot more variations in this one from the Steel Bone, and you'll see a lot more variations from the Iron Wrecker. If I get more of those, I'll do a review on those, and I'll start swapping out plates from the Iron Wrecker, because it's so many stuff that I kind of want to get and start mashing the parts, just messing around with it. I think that part is what's drawing me into this line, because there's so much playability, so much stuff that you can mess around with, that is just very, very enticing to me. So, and most of this stuff from Show Z, it's all sold out. So I would rather prefer buy it from Show Z because I feel like their prices might be a little bit lower because I'm not having to pay taxes and it's free shipping, but they're all sold out. So I'm having to go to Amazon on a second, kind of like a secondary market because it's a little bit more expensive. Like I said, the dual pilot that I'm getting that with lighter features, 2 pilots, I'm getting that for $68. And these are going for $75, $85 on Amazon because it's not Amazon because they're third-party sellers. So some of them might actually go up to 89 to 90, which is 90. I'm not because, yeah, you know. But there you go, guys. That's my review of my new addiction, the JOYTOY massacre. It's gonna be a massacre on my wallets, but that's kind of good because I'm kind of starting to slow down my Hasbro Legends, and not the GI Joe line. I'm still interested in it because I think they're doing a lot of good. They're going to a good direction on the GI Joe classified lines, with more accessories for a good price point. But the Marvel Legends, I'm good at I'm good at that point. Once I get my collections up and running, you'll see how it's kind of, I got it all set up anyway. But yeah, very good value on these guys. Nice playability. I'm enjoying it very much. Just looking at it on my shelves is very much enjoyable for me. So I'm not here to convince you. I'm just saying this is what I'm into right now. That I'm spending a lot more money on than I anticipated. Maybe I'll spend like 5 or 700 on that. I'm calculating how much it's gonna cost me to end up completing it because I think I might be getting a lot more. Obviously, if you get 10 pieces of this, 10 figures of this, is $700 already. If you can get it for 70 bucks, that's $700 already. So anyway, yeah. Like I said, my other future plans that I want to get into is I might, because the 1/18th line seems like has a different, it's the same scale. I think it's just 10 inches, the same as this one, because on the pictures you'll see the 1/18th guy standing. Oh, I just made this thing really loose, and it's about that, it looks about like that. So I think it's the same one, but it's a higher price point, which doesn't make sense to me. But I'm gonna experiment and buy one of the 18th one, and see how much I need to work on the pilot seat to fit this one. The only reason is because they're now branching. I think they're now branching more into the 40K Warhammer, and some of the designs in the 40K Warhammer looks amazing, but they're like 120, and I know they have to pay for licensings maybe, so it's a little bit more expensive. I'm not interested in the figures, but in the mecha. The mecha alone is just, it's got a lot of bright colors, blues and reds and all that stuff, and golds and everything. Very eye-catching. But oh, I wanted to do another one. I bought this one. I haven't opened it. This is the Avatar. $40 initially when it was introduced. I bought it because it's about the same size. See? And I'm sure that I can fit the pilot in, and this is more customization. The articulation on this is bad. This is originally $40. I'm not gonna buy this for $40 because this is already, I can get two of this. I can get one of this, and so much more better looking, so much more stuff. But this was on sale for 20 bucks. So I was like, 20 bucks, I can deal with that. Probably repaint it and all that stuff, and I can put it in the background to make my mecha much more bigger. But I was gonna open that up and compare with this one, but this video review is long enough as it is. But you can look at the reviews on that one. The articulation is so bad on that one. It's got like maybe 30 points of articulation. This one's, I can't even count. Yeah, so I'll just repaint that. Okay, I'm back. Do you guys remember these? The Sky Commanders? I got a bunch of these that I've been keeping from a long time when I first bought it a long time ago. Very dusty, as you can see. I have a bunch of them. I have the big vehicles, but look, when I first got this, I was thinking too, I thought this was gonna fit my 118. It doesn't. But look. Oh my god, that looks cool. So I'm gonna repaint these guys. Like I said, they're kind of like dusty and all that stuff. This is the reason why I wanted to get more of these figures. Oh my god. The Sky Commanders? Sky something. Ah. I can't use the original figures, look kind of crappy. But look at how much more this thing just got improved just getting this figure. Yeah, so I have all of them, and I was buying a bunch of them on eBay, you know, for like 20 bucks for 3 pieces and all that stuff. So that was the other reason why I got this. Thank you for staying throughout this long video, but you know, that's basically what's happening with me right now. I still have I still have a lot of stuff to do. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking around for this long. I don't know if you are still here watching this video, but I hope you enjoyed this, and I will shoot more videos as soon as I get the new one from JOYTOY, and we'll see what happens, okay? We'll see what happens. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.